So I am on the last of my rest days before my second block starts here in Palma de Mallorca, and I wanted to take you guys through a little bit my experience of the Europeans. So I didn't go well at all, ended up in Braunfleet, and yeah, maybe the first stage that I had was like, this is a bullshit regatta, because it was like day 5. We had 2 races, which I think in most events wouldn't have gone through, but because they wanted to make it an Olympic qualifier, we pushed through with those races. And it was maybe 1 o'clock and we still had only 2 races in. In the end we got some more races in that were quite decent actually. But so maybe the first stage was like, oh, this is bullshit regatta, I shouldn't take it too serious. And then after that comes a little bit more of realization. I felt quite disappointed. Maybe when you start off on your journey, it's only disappointment. But here I felt also a little bit hurt because you have a good team around you. I think everybody's doing a great effort and you feel like you let people down. And so that hurts quite a bit, especially if you're committed and you know that you've made a lot of progress in other areas. And then from there on, I think comes the work, because I think the best thing about these types of events is that you identify maybe some areas where you have weaknesses in. Yeah, so you identify areas where you have weaknesses in. And it had been a while since I've been doing middle starts. I usually prefer to go to the ends, but in this event we felt like middle starts were the way to go. And there I could have done a better effort, because I like to start back and just accelerate earlier than everyone. But in those very light conditions, that's very difficult, because you really have to accelerate much earlier than everyone then, and they can also react quicker. So I guess I should be more bow forward. I didn't get any BFDs there, so that's what we've been working on. And that was great because we just had a coaches regatta and we had actually also quite light winds, maybe a bit different conditions, but lots of middle starts. And we worked a lot on defending the place there. And yeah, I'll show in the tracking what that looks like. And yeah, then it's great to make progress with that and then get a pair of top 10 results at this coaches regatta. And yeah, so that's great. And meanwhile, we've also been making progress with the fitness. The weight was up quite a bit after Lanzarote. It went down a bit after food poisoning, but now we're steady 83 again and building slowly to 85. We are here in Mallorca and we are doing a zone 2 ride, easy ride. And I've been doing that now for the past couple of weeks, because in Lanzarote I was doing high intensity rides on top of sailing, which was intense with short course. And then I think it was a bit too much intensity during a week, because you have 5 intense sailing sessions, 2 or 3 intense bike rides. And so now we are putting the load a little bit lower with mainly short endurance rides, not much more than let's say 2 hours. So on top of the sailing analysis, I wanted to do a couple of other checks, because during the events I felt a little bit less sharp and a little bit tired, and I made like small mistakes where I would like drop my main sheet a couple of times. And I'm not 100% sure why that was. Maybe, you know, the block in Lanzarote was too tough. I think also sometimes I have the tendency to abuse caffeine a bit. So then take some caffeine already in the morning, and then I was having these Maurten drinks also with caffeine. And then if the dosage is too high, maybe your coordination goes down or the caffeine wears out and you just feel less sharp then. So that's also something that I'm trying to decrease now a bit, and now trying to stick to just 1 coffee a day. Another thing that I did is that I wanted to make sure all my minerals and vitamins were okay. So I did a blood test and everything basically looked fine. My vitamin D levels could be a bit higher, as we are always in covered in with sailing clothes, and maybe only your face is exposed, and there you were wearing sunscreen. So I guess some tanning to do, because now they were around 76 from the top of my head, and they optimally could be around 100. I mean, it's not considered low to the average population, but optimally is always different. Yeah, so that was some of the things apart from the sailing, but ultimately we are sailors and you can do all of these other things, but the performance on the water and what you do on the water matters the most. So it makes sense to make the adjustments there and put in the effort there.